Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about our data mining project where we apply the machine learning technique to predict the house prices in Bengaluru. This project brings together various components of modern data science. So this includes the data collection and pre-processing. Here we used a real-world dataset that contains the various attributes of residential properties in Bengaluru, like total square feet, bath, balcony, etc., to predict the house prices. So this can be downloaded from this Kaggle website using this button. I'll mention the link in the description. So here the machine learning model is built from many regression techniques and also data mining algorithms to discover various patterns to build a model that predicts the house prices accurately. And here we use the web integration which uses the client, that is the front end, as HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and this is connected to the server through Flask. As we know that this model predicts the house prices accurately, I'll dive into the data set that we downloaded. So this dataset consists of area type, availability, location, size, society, and total square feet, bath and balcony. These features are used to predict the prices. These prices are mentioned in the form of lakhs. Like this is 120 lakhs. So here the area type is of different types, like super built up area, plot area, built up area, and the availability is from when the flat or the house is available. And this column mentions the location, and this is the size, that is number of bedrooms in the house, and this represents the society, and this represents the total square feet. These both represent the number of bathrooms and balconies. So this is the data set. Now we'll be diving into the data where we pre-processed and also built the machine learning model. So here, as I've already told, here from this link I've downloaded the data set, and then import pandas as PD. Like these are all the libraries that we have imported. Pandas. So pandas is used for data manipulation, and NumPy is used for any numerical operations like any calculations on the arrays, etc. And Matplotlib is used for any visualizations that we want to draw from the data set. That is any type of visualizations that we get from different features of the graph and attributes of the graphs. Here we have downloaded the data set, and we have created a data frame that is called as that we have called as df1, that is data frame 1. So the data frame 1 is the data Bangalore house prices.csv is loaded into the data frame 1, and then it is assumed as the same directory as the notebook. So I have mentioned the relative path of that. So df1.head, this is used to print the first 5 rows of the dataset. As I've already shown you the area type, availability, these are the first 5 rows of the dataset. Df1.shape, this is used to this shape attribute represents the number of tuples, like number of rows and number of columns. Like this contains 13,320 rows and 9 columns. Df1 dot columns, this is used to get the number of get the features of the dataset, like number of unique features that represents the distinct values like area type and all. Df1 of area type dot unique, so this represents all the unique values under the area type column. And also counts, like how many count of super built up areas and plot areas. It counts the number of areas present in the area type. And we as we do not require all the features in the data set, because the accuracy will be very less, as some features doesn't contribute to the machine learning model. So here we will drop some features, as area type, society, number of balconies and availability are not much required. We will drop that columns, and we will create a new data frame. So here the data frame is created, like giving this data frame to the df2 and df2 dot shape. This will represent checks the shape of the new data frame, like number of rows and number of columns. As we have dropped this area type, society, balcony, and availability, now we have only five features available with us. Now we'll create the data, now we'll clean the data so that we will handle any missing values or null values in the data. So is null dot sum. This method counts the missing values in each column of df2. Like if the size has 16 missing values, total square feet has no missing values. As these are small in size, like small in number, missing values are small in number. So we will just check the shape of the data, and then we'll drop that null values, as they are very small in number, like 16, 73, and all. Here is null dot sum is used to is used to check any null values remaining in the data frame. And we'll then check df3 dot shape. Now we can see that the number of rows has been reduced because we have dropped some null values. Now we will do the feature engineering, where we'll add new features into the called BHK. So as we saw in the data set, this BHK column contains two BHK, four bedroom. Here BHK or bedroom represents the same thing, but it now here it is considered as different variables or different categories. So we will now what we'll do is that we will create a new column BHK in the data frame 3. In the data frame 3, we are creating a new value. For each value in the size column, we will first split the split the string into the first part, that is the number, and then convert it into the integer type, so that bhk and bedroom will be separated, and only the number, that is 4, will be returned. And this assigns the result to the bhk column, that is the new bhk column created in the df3 data frame. And then it will list all the unique values in the new bhk column. So this will create a new BHK column which represents only the like array, that is 2 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, 6 bedrooms, and here we have 13 and 18 bedroom flats also. So we will first define a float function that checks the value of x can be converted to float or not. Try attempts to convert the x to float using the float of x, and exception if the conversion fails. If we will we created this because the total square feet is a valid number, and it is used to it is very much needed to predict the house prices. So we will define this, and then we will check if this float is converting to float is working or not. uh, Here, this function is used to apply the float function to the total square feet column, returning the true value if the value is valid float or false otherwise. This operator is used to convert the boolean values, that is true becomes false and vice versa. That is, it is used for negation. And this overall represents the table showing where the total square feet has values like 2100 to 2850, and also like these values. These ranges of values with units are not just single numbers. The cell identifies problematic total square feet values that aren't simple numbers like ranges and need to be handled to make total square feet usable for the data modeling. So we use our float function to find the rows where the total square feet isn't a clear number and flips the result to show us values that aren't floats like ranges or weird inputs. We display the first 10 examples that got sense of the issue. These need to be fixed in our model and we can use the total square feet column. So here then we the above total square feet columns represents this and we need to convert it. So the conversion of square feet into the number, this represents the function which is used to convert the square feet values into a single number. The tokens is equal to x dot split splits the input string at the hyphen, that is at the hyphen it defines into the two separate tokens or two separate inputs. If length of tokens is equal to 2, like two inputs are there if it is a range, then it is split resulted into two parts. The split is resulted into two parts, then it will return the floor. It will return the float of tokens for ranges that converts both the floats and add them and divide by 2. That is, it will take a mean of mean of both the values. Then this handles averaging the ranges and converting the valid numbers into valid numbers while marking the invalid inputs. So this df4 is equal to df3 dot copy is used to create a copy of avoiding and modifying directly through the data frame. So it creates a new data frame and then copies these values into the data frame. It applies the convert to square feet to num function in every value of the total square feet column, converting the ranges into averages and invalid values to none. So df4 is equal to df4 of total square feet not null. This removes the rows that total square feet is none, and keeps only the rows with valid numbers. Df4 dot head of 2. This displays the first two rows of the clean data frame, and also the below row shows the total square feet as 24975, as which is an average of both. Like I've told, it will do the average of both the columns, both the values. And df4 dot location of 30, this will retrieve all the rows at index 30 from df4, and the total square feet value is, as I have mentioned, 24975, and this will be correctly averaged. So we can check with any numbers, like I've checked with these two numbers. And now we will perform the feature engineering step. At this feature engineering step, we'll add a new feature called price per square feet. This price per square feet returns like it will as we have I've told, the prices are in form of lakhs. So the price into lakhs by the total square feet. This will create a new column and it will create a new data from df5. So it will store in all the values in the df5. If we want to describe about this price per square feet, we will keep dot describe, so that it will return all the mean, median, mode values, everything it will return here. And this will be converted into csv file, so that I've it will create into bhp.csv. And now we the bhp.csv file will be downloaded. Now we will examine this locations values, where which is like categorical variable, and we need to apply dimensionality reduction to reduce the number of dimensions. As there are many dimensions, we need to reduce the dimensions, and this will help in outlier removal, building the model and getting more accuracy. So we will in the next steps we will clean the locations and outlier removals, and also do the one hot encoding with the linear regression, and also cross validation and grid search csv. So this will help in more getting the more accuracy of the prediction model. So here dfi dot location. So here we will this function is used to strip function first. The strip function is used to every value in the location column will be used to remove the leading and trailing white spaces, like any white spaces present, and this will give any unique location values, like in whitefield how many unique location values are present and all. And then location dot status of values dot sum. This will return the represents the number of houses across all the location that matches the number of rows in d5. So the length of location filters the location stats to the count how many locations have 10 or fewer houses, and uses len function to get number of such locations. So the len of location stats will help in getting the locations less than 10, and then we will do the dimensionality reduction, where the location stats less than 10 will be all the location stats less than 10 will be stored in this variable. This variable will give all the unique values, and only this location less than 10 will be removed, and then we can get location unique values as 241, and then we will return the head, that is head of 10. Head represents the first 5 rows, and if we mention any value then it will represent the number of values mentioned inside the head function. So here we will remove the outlier. We need to remove outliers to get maximum accuracy. The unique function here, the df5 is used to get the total square feet by calculates the square footage of the bedroom divided by the total square feet by bhk. That is like, it filters the DFI to show the rows where the square feet footage per bedroom is less than 300. And dot head represents, as I have told, it represents the first 5 rows that meet this condition. And this table shows the rows where total square feet by BHK is less than 300. So here we'll check the data points where 6 BHK apartment with 1020 square feet. And first we will show the shape, that is the number of rows and number of columns, and then we will identify the rows where the square footage per bedroom is less than 300. And as we have discussed, a negation symbol inverts the condition of select rows where the footage per bedroom is 300 or more. Now we will dive into the outlier removal. Here, outlier removal helps in removing the outliers using the standard deviation and mean. Like, we will calculate the standard deviation and mean of the data, and then remove those the preceding values, like outside values, and this will first we will describe the data, and then we will apply the remove outliers. So this remove outliers removes the applies the remove pps outliers function to the df6 database data frame, and then this will be creating a new data frame ds7 with outlier all the outliers removed. This function houses with extreme price per square feet values, reducing the number of rows uh, from a certain range to a certain smaller range. This creates a cleaner data set for modeling. So here, because we are getting rid, we can predict the model more accurately. So let's check if the location, how does 2 BHK and 3 BHK property prices look like. So before we build our model, we want to check if our prices make sense. So if we want to compare a 2 BHK and 3 BHK in the same location, like if a 2 BHK price is pricier than 3 BHK, then we should fix the outliers. So this introduced a visualization to compare the prices between the 2 BHK and 3 BHK in the same location. So we will define a plot scatter chart. This defines a function to create a scatter plot for the data frame and the location. BHK2. This defines the 2 BHK flats, that is, filters the data frame to include only 2 BHK flats in the specified location. And similarly, BHK3 filters the data frame to include only the 3 BHK houses into the specified location. And as I have told, matplotlib.params is used to set the size of the visualization that we want. And the plot.scatter of 2 BHK creates a plot for 2 BHK houses with total square feet on x-axis, and on the y-axis the blue dots and a label of 2 BHK. So the as the plot dot scatter of BHK3, this will represent this will create a scatter for 3 BHK houses using green plus signs, uh, with marked as this, like this. So the plot of x label, like we will plot the x labels of x and y coordinates, and also give the title to the location. This will visualize the 2 BHK and 3 BHK prices to a specific location. As we need a function to visualize the 2 BHK and 3 BHK, this will help in creating the difference between the more expensive, like I have told that 2 BHK, whether the 2 BHK will be more expensive than the 3 BHK. Now we will here we created a plot for Rajaji Nagar. So like in Rajaji Nagar, the two how the 2 BHK and 3 BHK prices are ranging, and we will call our plotting for Rajaji Nagar as the 2 BHK represents the houses as blue dots and 3 BHK as 3 plus, like the green plus signs. And if we want the blue dots to be higher than the green plus signs of the same square footage, then the red flag, 2 BHK, then it is a red flag. Like the 2 BHK cost is more than the 3 BHK. And if we plot the scat for Hebbal, it is more in this square feet area. uh, and then we should remove the such properties where the same locations the price of the 3 BHK apartment is less than the 2 BHK, like with the given location, within the given location. So our plot showed some 2 BHK which is more expensive than 3 BHK, which is not right. So we need to correct this. In order to correct this, we need to get into the code which represents the def remove BHK outliers. This defines the function to remove BHK related outliers and exclude indices. This initializes an empty NumPy array to store the indices of the rows to exclude those such things for location. So this is used to group the data frame by location, by iterating over each location and its subset, like location. And BHK stats, so here we will initialize an empty dictionary that stores the statistics for BHK in the current location. And then we will group the location underscore df by BHK by iterating over each BHK. And BHK underscore stats, this will helps in grouping the location and iterating over the 2 BHK and 3 BHK flats. Uh, and also for BHK in DF of location. So here we will group by BHK and iterate over the BHKs again to compare with the previous BHK, like 3 BHK versus the 2 BHK. And if stats, here this is used to check the previous BHK exists and has more than 5 houses or not. And we will then exclude. This will add the indices of the rows where the current BHK price per square feet is less than the mean price per square feet of the previous BHK. Like 3 BHK is cheaper than 2 BHK mean, and then it will return drop, that is drops the identified outlier of rows and returns the clean data frame. So here what we did is we removed the outliers, that is the count greater than 5 also makes a part where we can compare the BHKs with enough data. So we finally dropped these outliers and ensured 3 BHKs are priced higher than the 2 BHKs, where it should not be the it should not be. And also we have then checked the shape, like some of the data has been outliers has been removed and the data has been reduced. So we the data has been reduced to 7317 rows or tuples. So here, then we again replotted the Rajaji Nagar. So this scatter plot report of the Rajaji Nagar with respect to the DF8 data frame after the outlier removal has worked. So the scatter plot shows that 3 BHK prices above 2 BHK prices for the similar sizes. So if the blue dots are below the green dots plus clean, our cleanup blue dots were below the green dots. So our plot and cleanup of the data frame is successful. So here the data here the 2000 square feet, and these are the 1000 to 1500 square feet. So the 2 BHK is less than square feet is less than the 3 BHK square feet. Hence we cleaned our data set properly. Now we will remove all those 2 BHK apartments whose price per square feet is less than the mean. So I plotted based on this and removed the outliers as I have already told, and also the plotted the price per square feet. Like I plotted the histogram for price per square feet in DF8, as I have told DF8 after clean data set, with these bars occupying 80% of the bin width, like our width. This is the bin width, and we have created the X label and Y label. So this histogram shows the distribution of price per square feet like a bell shaped curve, and most of the values between 3000 and 10,000 rupees square feet. So this histogram represents that after the removal of the outliers, we expected a nice bell curve with prices say 3,000 and 10,000 rupees SFT. This confirms our data is cleaned properly. So here we will remove the outliers using the bathrooms feature. So the bathrooms feature as we need, as the number of bathrooms unique bathrooms are more than 13. So we will check if the bathrooms values are we will check plot the number of bathrooms and check if the bathrooms value is greater than 10. So these we need to filter the DF8 so that we can see how many are more than 10 bathrooms. So a typical house that is excessive bathrooms need not be chosen. So we will check for the houses where the number of bathrooms is more than the number of bedroom size plus 2, and then we will show the cases of 2 BHK with 5 bathrooms, that is too many. So we will check those such cases, and then we will remove to keep our data somewhat realistic. So we will now create a data frame 9 to keep only the rows where the bathroom is less than less than BHK plus 2. Like it is of the data frame, so we have mentioned df8 dot. So here we have kept only such values into the df9 data frame, and now the rows reduced somewhat. And then we have created we have shown the first two values, such that all the data, all the features are shown, and then we will keep the track of all the features, and we will now drop the unnecessary columns, that is size and price per square feet, which we have created earlier for this. Now we will perform one hot encoding for the location, that is we will remove any dummy values. So one hot encoding transforms the location into binary columns. For example, if a house in for example, if any house in one block, first block Jayanagar, uh, column has 1 and all other location columns are zeros, then this makes the location usable in the numerical model. So we will create a df11 data frame. This drops the other column from the dummy data frame and avoids multi collinearity. So we will now concat the df10 with the dummy variables along the columns, and we will display the first five of, like, the five values of the df11. So the df12, we will create a df12 data frame uh, by dropping the location column, as now it is represented by the dummy variables. So we will create a df12 so that the location column becomes the dummy variables that already represent this one. So the df12 has total square feet and bathroom price, bhk, and also these represents the location values. So the now we will create a data model. First, we will check for the number of rows and number of columns. Here, the price. So, creates a we'll create a variable x with a feature matrix by dropping the price column and the target variable. So x contains all the input features of the model excluding the target price. This is the used for giving input to the machine learning model. So now we will give the input to the machine learning model by checking for the shape, and then uh, dot price, we will check the price and represent print the first three columns, and then we will check for the length of y. So to make sure that there are 7239 values, same as the x. So we will now apply sklearn dot model underscore selection. So this is used to we will import the train test split to divide our data into 80% of the training data and 2%, like test size is equal to 0.2, so we will give 2% of training data. So this way we'll train our model by giving the data set. So from sklearn.linear underscore model, this will import the linear regression and classifies and fit the model. So the linear regression and create model called LR underscore CLF. We will train the X train and Y train with fit function, and then we will test it on the X underscore test and Y underscore test with the score, which gives us the R score value. That is, R score value is here 0.863. That means that our model explains 86.3% of the price validation of the data pretty good. And then now we will use k-fold cross validation. So using k-fold cross validation, we will shuffle the split to create 5 random test and train splits with 20% of the testing for each time. Then we will cross validate score, the cross validate score, like it this will train and test the linear regression model for each split, and this output shows for 5 r square values from 0.827 to 0.860, averaging around 0.848. This will give us a good model. So we will now from grid search CV, now we will get to know the function. We will define the function and compare these models with the linear regression, with the linear regression with different settings, like whether to normalize the data or how to split the decision tree using grid search CV tries every combinations using Ficro's cross validation, and this output of the linear regression with a score of 0.848, which will just exceed the linear regression. It just exceed the decisions, beating the lasso and decision tree. So the linear regression model got more accuracy, so here we are sticking with the linear regression model. So here now we will define the predict price, so that it takes the location, square feet, bathrooms and bhk. We will find the locations column index, create zero array for all 243 features, and fill in square feet, bath and bhk, and also for one for the location. And then we'll pass our train data into the predicted price, and then make it super straightforward, so that everything will be predicted actually correctly with more accuracy. So here we are predicting some values like first phase, JP Nagar and all. So here we have exported the test model using exported the test model, and also given uh, and also import pickle line brings Python pickle library, which helps in help to save our model in the into the file called dot pickle file, and use this to dump our model to linear underscore classifier, so that this this is important because we used to retrain the model every time we want to make predictions. So it is used for this, and we will give the information in the form of the JSON format for this. So we have imported JSON, and then hence we have got that the linear regression predicts with 86.3 percentage of R3's R square score, and we tested on some properties. So hence we have done with the Jupyter notebook file that we have created, that is the machine learning model that we have created. Now I will show you the Postman, where I used get function to get the location names. First I need to connect to the connect to the server. So first I need to connect to the server, so I am connecting it to the server through server.py. So this server.py uses flask connection to connect through the flash server. And now I am going to run this using the terminal. So the terminal says, first it is in the server, so I am calling cd server, and then it is in Python, so Python server dot. Now we are going to start the front end, for which the user interacts with. So this index.html creates a simple web page where the users can input the area, like I've entered. See, uh, the users can enter the area, BHK, number of bathrooms, location, and also and it will the button labeled with estimate price will trigger and will predict the output, that is will predict the price of the uh, BHK flats or the houses. So the app.js will give app.js will build a version with which connects with the server. Like if we And the form is styled using app.css file and uses jQuery. As I have mentioned, jQuery is mentioned in this app.js. Like all this dollar, these all are from the jQuery. So get bath value. This will retrieve the selected number of bathrooms, and BHK from the radio buttons that we have created in the HTML. They loop through the radio inputs and return the selected value. Example like 2 BHK. This it will get return the BHK value. So if we click on click estimate price that we have written in the HTML, this runs where the estimate price button is clicked. It collects all the user inputs, that is like area, BHK, bathrooms and location, and sends them to the back of the server via the post method. So here the post method can be used. This is the post method. So in the postman, I will now open the postman app. So in the postman, I've already given this get and also post methods. Uh, this post methods. So here I've already connected, so I've already given. Uh, you just need to get the URL from the server that I'll be showing this now, and then you will give this to the in the URL, and then you'll give this to the post URL and get URL forms. So here this is get URL, so that you'll get all the locations, and the page on page load function will load all the get request from that is location names. And here also click estimated price. It will estimate all the prices based on the URL that we posted, like total square feet, BHK, bathroom, and location. So the now we will see about the server.py. So the server.py is under the server module, and now we will check this. So the backend is handled by this, and it is done using the Flask server application. So this get location names can be used as an endpoint that returns the JSON response containing a list of available locations in the Bangalore, like Rajajinagar, etc. It calls a function called location names, so that from the util module it adds the course functionality, and adds all the course headers into this. So if we want to predict the home prices, this will create an endpoint for the users where the area, BHK, and bathrooms, and also the location from the front end extracts, and then the data will be loaded into this, and the functions can be used to this function can be used to take the input and also predict the output. This Flask will be running on this Flask is running on this server HTTP 127.0.0.1. So here the utils module is present, where it has the functions of modules for the logic of the machine learning model. So the get estimated price and also load saved artifacts. This loads the train module and also does the necessary data with the data manipulations with when the server starts. So this file abstracts the machine learning complexity and makes it easy uh, uh, to call these all functions that we have created, and makes our task easier. So here we will call all the functions from all that. We will load all the saved artifacts such that we will get all this. So this server is running on this, and if now I'll be showing HTML page. If we just click on go live, when we click on the HTML page, now it will just connect. As I've already connected the server, everything is connected, and then we can click the home prices. Like if you want to enter 3000 and also 3 BHK and 1 bathroom, and also in under Anandpura. So here we will estimate the price. So it is estimated here by connecting it to the server. And now we will be discussing about the Power BI dashboard that we have created. So I've already created this Power BI dashboard in before, but we can create now also by loading it into the Microsoft Power BI. So this Microsoft Power BI is used to draw all the visualizations by loading our dataset into the Power BI. So here we will be loading our dataset, and then we will draw the visualizations between our attributes. That is like bathrooms, bedrooms, etc. And this will be helping us to predict all the house prices. So here the Power BI is opening, and now we'll be discussing now. So this is the dashboard that I've already created. So this contains a total listings of 13K, and also the sum of prices of all the prices in Bangalore is 1.50 million, and also our maximum price is 3.6K, and the average price per SFT. You can create the new rows like average new variables like average price per SFT using this new measure. Here if you want any measure you can mention here, like using such modeling I have created this average price per SFT, and also maximum price, minimum price, and total listings, and also count rows. So here I have included a location of our data set, where all our data columns will be present inside a map. So this is done using a geomap, a geom app. So here this is a donut type chat, and it contains if you click on this, uh, if you click on this it will call all this like legend, that is the area type, and also the values are count of rows, that is which type of row, super area top, super build up, how many type is there, and in this maximum is build super built up area, and this is also the count of count by size, and this is a line and stacked column chart. So this will contain the area visualization between area type and count of rows. This is the average price per SFT. So by location, and this will give us the all the locations, and this is the average price per SFT. So here the count of area type and sum of balcony by location. So these are the locations, and this will represent the sum of bath areas, this will represent the sum of balcony areas, and this will represent the count of area by type. This will represent the count of availability by area type. So these both represent the same, but you can see that this is a different type of chart, and this is a different type of chart, and this is the sum of price by total SFT. This will be from scatter chart. So this is my dashboard that I have created from Power BI. Thank you.